Imagine a world where ordinary people have the power to surprise even the mightiest of celestial beings. That's right, we're talking about chosen ones and how they can actually shock archangels. Now, you might be thinking, wait a minute, aren't archangels supposed to be all-knowing and all-powerful? Well, that's exactly what makes this so incredible. It's not what you might expect, and it's definitely not your typical spiritual story. This is about regular folks like you and me who have something special inside them, something so extraordinary that it can catch even the highest ranks of heaven off guard. Think about it for a second. We often hear stories about angels guiding humans or performing miracles. But what if I told you that sometimes it's the other way around? That's the amazing thing about chosen ones. They're not your usual spiritual superstars. They're everyday people who suddenly find themselves with abilities or insights that can literally make an archangel's jaw drop. It's like finding out that the quiet kid in class is actually a musical genius who can outplay even the most experienced musicians. That's the kind of surprise we're talking about here, but on a cosmic scale. Now, you might be wondering, how is this even possible? Or, what makes these chosen ones so special? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore in this video. We're going to uncover the secrets of how ordinary people can have such an extraordinary impact on beings that are supposed to be way above our level. It's a story of hidden potential, unexpected twists, and the amazing things that can happen when the divine meets the human in ways we never saw coming. Here's why this matters so much. If we don't understand how chosen ones can affect archangels, we might be missing out on some of the most important spiritual insights of our time. This isn't just about some far-off, mystical concept. It's about unlocking the potential that exists within each and every one of us. You see, the idea that chosen ones can shock archangels turns our usual understanding of spirituality upside down. It suggests that we, as humans, might have more power and importance in the grand scheme of things than we ever realized. Think about what this could mean for your own life. If ordinary people can surprise beings as powerful as archangels, what might you be capable of that you haven't discovered yet? This isn't about becoming some kind of superhero or thinking you're better than anyone else. It's about recognizing that each of us might have a unique gift or purpose that can make a real difference, not just in our own lives, but in the bigger picture of existence. But there's more at stake here than just personal growth. Understanding this connection between chosen ones and archangels could change how we view our place in the universe. It challenges the idea that spiritual growth is just about following rules or waiting for divine intervention. Instead, it suggests that we might be active participants in shaping the spiritual realm, capable of bringing new ideas or energies that even the highest angels haven't considered. And here's the really exciting part. If we ignore or dismiss this idea, we might be closing ourselves off to incredible opportunities for spiritual advancement. We could be missing chances to connect with higher realms in ways we never thought possible. It's like having a superpower but never using it because you don't believe it's real. By exploring how chosen ones can shock archangels, we're opening doors to new understandings of our spiritual potential and our role in the universe. Now, let's break down what we mean when we talk about chosen ones. Don't worry. We're not talking about some exclusive club that only a few special people get to join. Chosen ones are much more relatable than that. They're regular people, just like you and me, who find themselves picked for a special purpose or gifted with unique abilities they never expected to have. Think of chosen ones as everyday heroes who didn't ask for the job. They're the kind of people who might be living totally normal lives one day, and the next, they're faced with incredible challenges or opportunities that seem to come out of nowhere. It's like those stories you hear about ordinary folks who suddenly do something extraordinary in a crisis. Except for chosen ones, this becomes their new normal. One of the cool things about chosen ones is that they come from all walks of life. They're not always the people you'd expect. A chosen one could be a teacher who suddenly starts having visions that help her students in amazing ways. Or it might be a bus driver who realizes he can heal people with a touch. It could even be a kid who starts understanding animals and becomes a voice for nature. The point is, chosen ones don't fit a single mold. They're as diverse as humanity itself. Now, you might be wondering if there are any famous examples of chosen ones we can look at. While it's hard to say for sure who is and isn't a chosen one, it's not like they wear special badges. There are plenty of stories throughout history and in different cultures that give us an idea. Think about people like Joan of Arc, a young girl who led armies and changed history. Or consider Buddha, who left a life of luxury to seek enlightenment and ended up starting a whole new spiritual tradition. In more recent times, we might look at figures like Malala Yousafzai, who survived an assassination attempt and became a powerful voice for education and women's rights at a very young age. While we can't say for certain if these individuals were chosen ones in the spiritual sense we're discussing, their stories show us how ordinary people can rise to extraordinary challenges and make a big impact on the world. But here's the really important thing to understand about chosen ones. They're not perfect, all-powerful beings. They're human, with all the flaws and doubts that come with that. What sets them apart is not that they're better than everyone else, but that they've been called to use their unique gifts in ways that can change things on a big scale. And sometimes, those gifts are so unexpected or powerful that they can surprise even the mightiest of spiritual beings, like archangels. The idea of chosen ones reminds us that each of us might have hidden potential we haven't tapped into yet. It's not about waiting to be chosen. It's about being open to the possibility that we might be called to do something amazing at any moment. This is why the concept of chosen ones is so exciting and important. It suggests that any one of us could have the capacity to bring something new and surprising into the world, something that could shake things up even at the highest spiritual levels. As we dive deeper into how these chosen ones can actually shock archangels, keep in mind that this isn't just a faraway spiritual concept. It's a reminder of the incredible potential that exists within each person. The story of chosen ones is, in many ways, the story of human potential itself, full of surprises, challenges, and the possibility of making a real difference in the world, both seen and unseen. Now, let's talk about archangels. These aren't your everyday angels. Archangels are like the big shots of the angel world. Think of them as the managers or CEOs of the spiritual realm. They're super powerful, incredibly wise, and they've been around for a really, really long time. In many spiritual traditions, archangels are seen as the highest-ranking angels, working directly with the divine to keep the universe running smoothly. Archangels are often described as beings of pure light and energy. They don't have physical bodies like we do, but many people imagine them as really tall, glowing figures with big wings. Each archangel is said to have their own special job or area of expertise. For example, Michael is often thought of as a protector, while Gabriel is known as a messenger. Raphael is associated with healing, and Uriel is sometimes called the angel of wisdom. These powerful beings are believed to watch over the world and all of creation. They're like cosmic supervisors, making sure everything is going according to the big plan. Archangels are said to guide and protect not just individuals, but entire nations and even planets. They're the ones who step in when really big, world-changing stuff needs to happen. In many spiritual beliefs, archangels act as a bridge between humans and the highest levels of the divine. They're often seen as beings we can call on for help, guidance, or protection. Some people believe that archangels can appear to humans in times of great need or to deliver important messages. They're like the special forces of the spiritual world, showing up when ordinary angels just won't cut it. But here's the thing about archangels that's really important for our story. They're supposed to know pretty much everything. They've been around since the beginning of time. They work directly with the divine, and they can see the big picture in ways we can't even imagine. So the idea that a human, even a special human like a chosen one, could shock an archangel? That's a pretty big deal. It's like surprising your grandparents with a piece of technology they've never seen before, but on a much, much bigger scale. Understanding who the archangels are helps us see why it's so amazing that chosen ones can shock them. These aren't just any spiritual beings getting surprised. These are the top tier, seen-it-all, know-it-all angels. And that's what makes the whole idea so exciting and mind-blowing. Now that we know who the archangels are, let's dive into what makes chosen ones so special that they can actually shock these powerful beings. The abilities of chosen ones aren't like superpowers you see in movies. They're often more subtle, but in many ways, they're even more amazing. One of the most common special powers of chosen ones is their ability to see or understand things that others can't. It's like they've got a special pair of glasses that lets them see the world in a completely different way. This might mean they can see energy fields around people or understand complex spiritual concepts without any training. Some chosen ones might suddenly start understanding ancient languages they've never studied, or have dreams that show them future events. Another special power that chosen ones often have is the ability to heal. But we're not just talking about physical healing, though that can be part of it. Chosen ones might be able to heal emotional wounds with a few kind words, or help people overcome addictions just by being around them. It's like they've got a special kind of energy that helps fix what's broken in others, whether that's in the body, mind, or spirit. Some chosen ones have the power to manipulate energy in amazing ways. They might be able to move objects with their mind, or affect the weather in small ways. Others might have the ability to communicate with animals or plants, understanding the language of nature in a way that most of us can't even imagine. It's like they're tuned into a different frequency that lets them interact with the world in ways that seem impossible to the rest of us. One of the most powerful abilities of chosen ones is their capacity for love and compassion. Now, you might be thinking, wait a minute, isn't that something we all have? And you'd be right. But for chosen ones, this ability is amplified to an incredible degree. They might be able to love unconditionally in a way that can transform people and situations around them. Their compassion might be so strong that it can ease the suffering of entire communities. What makes these powers truly special is that they often show up in unexpected ways and at unexpected times. A chosen one might go their whole life thinking they're just an ordinary person, and then suddenly, in a moment of crisis or need, their special ability kicks in. It's like having a hidden superpower that you didn't even know about until the exact moment you needed it. But here's the really interesting part. The powers of chosen ones are often perfectly suited to whatever task or challenge they're meant to face. It's like the universe has given them exactly the tool they need for their specific job. This is very different from how we usually think about special powers. It's not about being the strongest or the fastest. It's about having the right ability at the right time to make a real difference. These special powers set chosen ones apart from regular people in some pretty amazing ways. But it's important to remember that chosen ones are still human. They have doubts, make mistakes, and face challenges just like everyone else. What makes them different is how they use their unique gifts to navigate those challenges and help others along the way. Now, let's get to the really exciting part: how chosen ones actually interact with archangels. This is where things start to get really interesting, because it's not at all what you might expect. Typically, when we think about humans interacting with powerful spiritual beings like archangels, we imagine it as a one-way street. We picture humans asking for help, guidance, or protection, and the archangels swooping in to save the day. And sure, that does happen. Archangels are known for offering support and guidance to humans. But when it comes to chosen ones, the interaction is much more of a two-way street. Chosen ones often have a unique ability to communicate directly with archangels. It's like they've got a special hotline to the spiritual realm. This communication might happen through visions, dreams, or even face-to-face encounters, though remember, archangels don't have physical bodies like we do. Some chosen ones report hearing the voices of archangels clearly in their minds, offering guidance and support. But here's where it gets really interesting. Chosen ones don't just receive information from archangels, they can actually share insights and ideas with them too. It's like they're having a conversation with these incredibly powerful beings, exchanging thoughts and perspectives. This is pretty mind-blowing when you think about it. We're talking about humans sharing their ideas with beings that have been around since the beginning of time. Sometimes, chosen ones work alongside archangels on specific missions or tasks. They might be called upon to help with large-scale healing projects or to assist in guiding humanity through major transitions. In these cases, the chosen one and the archangel work as partners, each bringing their unique strengths to the table. The archangel might provide the big picture view and the spiritual power, while the chosen one offers their human perspective and their special abilities. One of the most fascinating aspects of how chosen ones interact with archangels is the way they can sometimes challenge or even disagree with these powerful beings. This isn't about being disrespectful or rebellious. It's about chosen ones having the courage and insight to offer a different perspective. They might see a situation from a uniquely human point of view that the archangel hasn't considered. Or they might have an intuitive understanding of a problem that offers a new solution. This ability to challenge archangels comes from a place of deep connection and mutual respect. Chosen ones aren't afraid of archangels, but they also don't worship them blindly. They recognize the wisdom and power of these beings, but they also understand the value of their own human experience and insights. It's this balance that allows for a truly meaningful and productive interaction. Sometimes, the interaction between chosen ones and archangels can lead to unexpected outcomes. A chosen one might be given a task by an archangel, but then find a completely new way to accomplish it that surprises even the archangel. Or a chosen one might bring up a question or idea that makes an archangel see things in a whole new light. It's important to understand that these interactions aren't always easy or comfortable. Chosen ones often face huge challenges and responsibilities when working with archangels. They might be asked to do things that seem impossible or scary. But it's through these challenges that chosen ones grow and develop their abilities even further. The relationship between chosen ones and archangels is one of mutual learning and growth. While archangels have vast knowledge and power, chosen ones bring the unique perspective of human experience. They offer creativity, adaptability, and the ability to understand complex emotions in a way that even archangels might not fully grasp. This combination of celestial wisdom and human insight can lead to some pretty amazing outcomes. As we move into the next section, where we'll explore exactly how chosen ones manage to shock archangels, keep in mind this unique relationship we've discussed. It's this special interaction, this balance of power and perspective, that sets the stage for some truly astonishing surprises in the spiritual realm. Now we come to the heart of our story, the shocking part. How exactly do chosen ones manage to surprise beings as powerful and all-knowing as archangels? It's time to unravel this mystery. The first thing to understand is that the shock often comes from the unexpected nature of human potential. Archangels, for all their wisdom and power, sometimes underestimate just how creative and adaptable humans can be. Chosen ones, in particular, have a knack for coming up with solutions or ideas that are completely out of left field. It's like they're thinking outside a box that the archangels didn't even know existed. One way chosen ones shock archangels is through their incredible acts of love and forgiveness. Now, you might think that archangels, being celestial beings, would have the market cornered on love. But the truth is, human love, especially when it comes from a chosen one, can be so pure and powerful that it takes even archangels by surprise. Imagine a chosen one forgiving someone who has done something truly terrible, showing a level of compassion that seems almost impossible. This kind of love, born from the complexity of human experience, can be shocking in its intensity and transformative power. Another shock factor comes from the innovative ways chosen ones use their gifts. An archangel might give a chosen one a task, expecting it to be done in a certain way. But then the chosen one comes up with a completely new approach that not only gets the job done, but does it in a way that has additional positive effects the archangel never anticipated. It's like asking someone to build a bridge, and they not only build it, but they also design it to purify the water flowing underneath. Sometimes, the shock comes from the sheer determination and resilience of chosen ones. Archangels, being immortal and incredibly powerful, might not always understand the full extent of human struggles. So when a chosen one faces seemingly insurmountable odds and not only overcomes them but does so in a way that creates positive change on a massive scale, it can be genuinely shocking to the archangels. It's a reminder of the incredible strength of the human spirit. There are also times when chosen ones shock archangels by tapping into spiritual truths or energies in ways that were thought to be impossible for humans. It's like they're breaking the rules of the spiritual realm, but in a good way. A chosen one might suddenly access a level of consciousness or a type of energy that was thought to be off limits to humans. This isn't about humans becoming more powerful than archangels, but rather about them accessing different types of power in unexpected ways. One particularly shocking aspect is when chosen ones manage to bring balance to situations that even archangels were struggling with. There are times when cosmic forces or spiritual energies get out of whack, and the usual angelic interventions aren't quite cutting it. Then, a chosen one steps in and, through their unique blend of human perspective and spiritual gift, manages to restore harmony. It's not that they're more powerful than the archangels, but rather that their human touch was exactly what was needed. Perhaps one of the most shocking things chosen ones do is teach archangels something new. Now, this might sound impossible. How can a human teach something to a being that's been around since the dawn of time? But that's exactly the point. Chosen ones, through their human experiences and their special connection to both the earthly and spiritual realms, sometimes gain insights that offer new perspectives even to archangels. It might be a new way of looking at free will, or a deeper understanding of human emotions, or even a fresh interpretation of divine love. The idea that chosen ones can shock archangels has some pretty big implications for how we think about spirituality. It shakes up a lot of traditional ideas and opens up some exciting new possibilities. First off, it suggests that the relationship between humans and the divine isn't as one-sided as we often think. Many spiritual traditions paint a picture of humans as passive recipients of divine wisdom and grace. But the ability of chosen ones to surprise archangels implies a much more dynamic, two-way relationship. It means that humans aren't just here to learn and grow. We might actually have something to offer to the spiritual realm as well. This concept also challenges the idea of a rigid hierarchy in the spiritual world. While it's clear that archangels are incredibly powerful beings, the fact that they can be shocked by humans suggests that power and wisdom in the spiritual realm isn't just about who's been around the longest or who has the most impressive title. It implies that there's value in the unique perspective that comes from being human, with all our messy emotions and earthly experiences. Another big implication is the importance of individuality in spiritual growth. The unique ways that chosen ones shock archangels highlight the value of each person's individual journey and perspective. It suggests that spiritual advancement isn't just about following a set path or adhering to strict rules, but about discovering and expressing your own unique gifts and insights. This idea also puts a new spin on the concept of human potential. If chosen ones can surprise even archangels, it implies that there might be no limit to what humans can achieve spiritually. It encourages us to think bigger about our own capabilities and to be open to possibilities we might never have considered before. Furthermore, the shock factor introduced by chosen ones suggests that the spiritual realm is not static, but constantly evolving. If archangels can learn new things from humans, it implies that the universe is in a constant state of growth and change. This is a much more dynamic and exciting view of spirituality than the idea of an unchanging, all-knowing divine realm. This concept also has implications for how we view challenges and difficulties in life. If even chosen ones face situations that push them to their limits, it suggests that struggles and challenges might be an important part of spiritual growth, not just obstacles to be avoided. Lastly, the idea of chosen ones shocking archangels emphasizes the importance of staying open and humble, no matter how spiritually advanced we might become. If even archangels can be surprised, it suggests that there's always more to learn and discover, no matter how much we think we know. So, what can we regular folks learn from all this talk about chosen ones and shocked archangels? Quite a lot, actually. These ideas aren't just for special people with magical powers. They've got some pretty amazing lessons for all of us. First up, never underestimate yourself. If chosen ones can shock archangels, who knows what you might be capable of? This doesn't mean you should expect to start flying or moving mountains with your mind, but it does mean that you've probably got potential you haven't even tapped into yet. Maybe you've got a knack for helping people that you haven't fully explored, or a creative talent that's just waiting to be unleashed. Another big lesson is the power of a fresh perspective. Chosen ones often shock archangels by looking at things in a new way. This is something we can all do. Next time you're faced with a problem, try approaching it from a completely different angle. You might be surprised at the solutions you come up with. The story of chosen ones also teaches us about the importance of staying open and curious. If even archangels can learn new things, then none of us should ever think we've got it all figured out. Stay curious, keep learning, and always be open to new ideas and experiences. We can also learn about the power of compassion and love. Remember how we said that one way chosen ones shock archangels is through incredible acts of love and forgiveness. That's not something reserved for special people. We all have the capacity to love and forgive in powerful ways. It might not shock an archangel, but it could certainly change someone's life. Another lesson is the value of persistence. Chosen ones often face big challenges, but they keep going even when things get tough. That's something we can all apply in our lives. When you're working towards a goal or trying to make a positive change, don't give up when obstacles pop up. Keep pushing forward. You might achieve more than you ever thought possible. We can also learn to trust our intuition. Chosen ones often act on hunches or feelings that turn out to be incredibly important. While we might not have magical powers, we all have intuition. Learning to listen to that inner voice can lead us to some pretty amazing places. The idea of chosen ones also reminds us that everyone has a unique purpose. You might not be destined to save the world, but you've got something special to offer. Take some time to think about what makes you unique and how you can use your own special gifts to make a positive difference in the world. Lastly, we can learn about the importance of balance. Chosen ones often bring balance to tricky situations, and that's something we can all strive for in our lives. Try to balance your spiritual growth with your earthly responsibilities, your personal needs with the needs of others, your work with your play. Finding that balance can lead to a more fulfilling and harmonious life. As we wrap up our exploration of why chosen ones shock archangels, let's take a moment to reflect on the bigger picture. This isn't just a cool spiritual story. It's a powerful reminder of the incredible potential that exists within each and every one of us. We've journeyed through the world of chosen ones and archangels, uncovering the special powers that make chosen ones unique, and the surprising ways they interact with some of the most powerful beings in the spiritual realm. We've seen how ordinary people can rise to extraordinary challenges, and how the human spirit can surprise even the wisest of celestial beings. But perhaps the most important takeaway is this. While we may not all be chosen ones in the dramatic, world-changing sense, we all have the potential to bring something unique and valuable to the world. We all have the capacity to surprise, to innovate, to love deeply, and to make a difference. The story of chosen ones shocking archangels reminds us to never underestimate ourselves or others. It encourages us to stay open, curious, and ready for the unexpected. It teaches us that growth and learning are lifelong journeys, even for the most enlightened beings. As you go forward from here, carry with you the spirit of the chosen ones. Embrace your unique gifts, face challenges with courage, and don't be afraid to think outside the box. Remember that you have the potential to bring new ideas and positive change to any situation. Who knows? You might just end up surprising yourself and maybe even shock an archangel or two along the way. The universe is full of wonders, and you're one of them. Keep shining your light and see just how far it can reach.